Hi, everybody. My name is David Gentry. I am a member of an independent book reviewers community. I am honored to have with us today one of the authors of the wonderful novel Blue Magic Woman, Mr. James Van Loan. The other author is Paola Bortolotti. Welcome, Mr. Van Loan.
Thank you, David. It's good to be here with you.
Mr. Van Loan, what are the origins of the title and the story, and which came first?
Well, the story comes first, but I should explain how the story evolved actually as well. Both Paul and I have a similar writing style. We write from character development. So we were talking. I met her actually at the Society of Authors in London, and we talked about writing styles. And when I discovered that we had very similar styles of writing, but we realized that males and females do have different perspectives, and so we decided to. We had some common themes that we both were interested in. One was eroticism and mysticism and madness, because she, as well as myself, is a psychologist.
Hmm.
And so we were talking about different kinds of individuals, and I mentioned a client that I had here in Uppsala. She was a both schizophrenic and a multiple personality, and she called herself sometimes the Blue Magic Woman. And another client I had was an American that I met at the hospital as well, who had severe disorders as well. And we decided they were on different wards, so they didn't know each other, these two individuals. But what we decided to do, that she would take the female character, the Blue Magic Woman, and I take this American. He was a novelist, a writer, and somewhat crazy, of course. Otherwise, he wouldn't be having psychological care. And so we decided, let's put these two people together. Let's see. I described Michael, who was the crazy artist, and I gave her the background about the Blue Magic Woman. And of course, she took over that persona. And we put the two people together, and we're going to say, where is this story going to go? What's going to evolve from this meeting? And that's how the story took off and evolved. We have these themes that we're working with, and she would write in her language, and I would write in my language, and then we'd meet, and then we'd synchronize her writing with my writing and try to see how the story was going. And it was a surprise for both of us many times, because I wasn't sure how she was saying things until she showed me, and the same for her to see when she saw my writing. And so it became very interesting to see how the story develops. In fact, we had no idea in the beginning that there was going to be, of course, there's going to be conflicts as well as attractions in a novel, so especially with the themes that we're looking at. And so, but one day suddenly there was one character, because we had diverse characters that are side characters, sub characters that came into the story that we each brought into the story. And suddenly there was a conflict between one and another, and there was suddenly a murder. And we had no idea in the beginning that we were going to write a murder mystery, or there would be murders. So it became suddenly, and because of the Scandinavian setting, it became a Nordic noir novel. Paula knew Sweden also quite well, so she knew the environment, and so it made it much easier for us to integrate our stories together. So that's how the story. And then, since this woman called herself the Blue Magic Woman, the story is nothing about her life or her problems, but the name fits the story so perfectly.
Yes, that's fantastic. There is a Nordic goddess who is half blue and half flesh colored. Is there an association there between her and the story?
Yes, there is, because I, as well as Paula, were both interested in mythology. She was more interested in Greek, but she became involved very much with the Nordic mythology as well for the story. And since this woman, the character, the Blue Magic Woman, we play with this theme of the color and sort of the magic of her persona. She seduces Michael, and so there's this interaction now, that this both the attraction and the conflict that arises between this relationship. And so we tie this together with Michael's his his attraction also to Nordic mythology. He's also seduced by the Nordic mythology and all the values there. And so we play with this theme. We try to interweave many themes into this novel, because readers readers have different ways of looking at books, and so we have, with all these different levels, some people can see some of the deeper themes, others only see the murder mystery or the Nordic noir novel.
Mm-hmm.
So we played with that mythology of the blue magic
Right.
woman in North mythology, definitely.
Absolutely fascinating. I just love it. You are a licensed and practicing Jungian psychologist. Do you use stories in your therapy?
I do, David. I think it's a very powerful method. I'm an eclectic psychologist, so it depends on the personality and the problem that I have with the client, or the problem the client has is what I mean. Helps me decide which approach is best. But if a client's a real creative, a very imaginative client, I have a form called narrative psychology.
Mm.
It's getting quite big in the States. It's just now coming to Scandinavia,
Mm-hmm.
where the client projects him or herself into a story. I have them write a story instead of feeling like I'm the depressed individual, or I am this person with all these different problems. They project them into a story, and with that approach, they are able to change things in their life, change their thinking, their way of feeling. We all want to be heroes of some type,
Mm-hmm.
and so it helps them to see how they can become that hero, someone they can really like themselves, and
Mhm.
that others will like.
Mm-hmm.
They always are so glued to themselves,
Mm-hmm.
they find it hard to make decisions, how
Mhm.
to change their lives. So
Mhm.
this helps them. I find it a very effective method.
Yeah, that is. It's just so interesting and so creative and so I don't know. It's just wonderful, the connection there between your novel writing, between Paula and you and the story. It's just fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Van Loan. If you want to buy Blue Magic Woman, which I highly encourage, please go to my website blogbookrareviews.com and click on the book cover in the left column. Good reading and goodbye.
Thank you, David. It's been great being able to speak with you and your readers, and I'm great that you're exposing the Blue Magic Woman to your large circle of readers. Thank you so much for your time.